Welcome to American Legion Post 31 baseball action, and as you're watching South Royalton take on Post 31 of Rutland. This is a non-league game, and boy, you talk about a disaster. It's 5:30 start time. The visiting team did not show up until almost 5:45, and they had no resemblance of organization at all. That's Chad Ryan on the mound. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. That's Nate Machinsky at the plate. He'll have a base hit. And Post 51 will have the game's first base runner. So you got to bear with me because I had no time to get a book ready. And it wasn't me who was late. Tyrell Manning in my book's due up. And what they're going to do is Post 51 is going to bat all 12 players. So we'll run around first. They'll be down. This is a tune-up for Rutland before they go into the Southern Vermont tournament. With the #1 seed, Chad Ryan, who's pitched very well this season, is out there on the mound. And that is ball one. You know, a lot of times, too, your coach, like Rutland, very organized. Team very regimented. They're ready to come out and get ready for a 5:30 start, and they're throwing the first pitch here at 5 or 6. It's like that's a fun foul. It's like being prepared for that first round of a boxing match. You go through certain rituals and timing and sequence of getting readiness. But the thing that made me chuckle is in the South Royalton dugout. The coach today, last minute game, I didn't know about it. Well, it's been on my schedule since June 14th. And so they're going to be breaking the action here. LaPlaca is your catcher, Anthony LaPlaca. He's coming out to talk to Chad Ryan. That's the battery for Rutland. Zach Aquistapes is at first base. This is the defense for Post 31. Chris Parker is at second. That's Rob Dorian at short. Jeff McLaughlin at third. John Holtman's in right field. Sean McGuire's in center. And Joe Trono getting a start in left field. The sun is out. It's warm and muggy. It's going to be bad sunshine for the left fielder, shortstop, and third baseman. And that was quite a swing and a strike. Goes to a 1-2 count now. There's nobody out in the top of the first. We're scheduled for 7. Hopefully there's a mercy rule. And Machinsky's over at first base for Post 51. Again, this is a non-league matchup to end the season. Oh, that's a great pitch. Yeah, everybody oohing and on, and I got to be one of them because it sure looked like he had rung him up. Goes to a 2-2 count, though. That'll look inside, and the pitch will be well outside. We're running to a full count now. So, the batting order will be a little different as Post 51 from South Royalton at the plate wants to bat all 12 players. And that'll be a walk, and it'll be first and second now. So a base hit and a walk will bring up Ted Mills. And this should just destroy my book, because I only had 10 slots actually, but and Jeff Brewer coming out to talk to Chad Ryan. He wants him to get in the groove early here and get set and find his rhythm and not mess around and have they want to end, Post 31 does, even though it's a non-league or not game, that is, and they have the #1 seed for the Southern Vermont tournament. They want to end with momentum and a nice remembrance of how the season ended. Years past, they've had their finales or non-league games to wrap things up, and it's been a disaster a lot of times. So they're looking for a good finish to what's been an excellent season, so they have some momentum going into the playoffs. First and second, nobody down, and there's the pickoff play, and you see Parker covering the bag, and the runner will be back safe. In Channel 15's website, www.PEGTV.com. Their phone number is 747-0151, and their location is Building 24 in the House Center. And you are always welcome to contact 15 or go see him personally. And he went fishing after the breaking ball and came up with a short bat and be a swinging strike, and I'll make it an 0-1 count. And the outfield basically just straight away right now to the right-handed hitter. And I think they're going to say he went. Yeah, and there's a strike called. He couldn't hold up on that check swing, and there'll be a 2-strike count now. And Chad Ryan, after that visit from Jeff Brewer with 2 consecutive strikes. Jeff Brewer has a tendency to do that, iron out the wrinkles in a visit. And that pitch hung up on him. That was a breaking ball that just kind of stayed up there. You're lucky that wasn't about 6 inches lower. They would have creamed that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 on, nobody down. Top of the first. American Legion Post 31 regular season finale, a non-league game against South Royalton. And I can't believe the season's over and we're going to the playoffs. A nice grab over there by Quistapace on that throw from Ryan, the pitcher, to first base. So from the stretch, and that's what Ryan's been doing since the first batter got on. He's been pitching from the stretch this inning. Long look in, and too long a look, and the batter asks for time, and he'll step out. And in case you forgot, that's Ted Mills at the plate. So we'll see if we can get the pitch off here with a 1-2 count. And it was just barely fouled, but we'll stay at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, here at St. Peter's Field in Royalton, Vermont, USA. The Southern Vermont Tournament will start in it's going to be in Fairhaven, Vermont, and then the state championship series again will be held in Fairhaven, Vermont this year. So that's pretty cool. And that's going to be too slow for a double play. It's going to be too slow for anything as it goes foul. Now just make the runners go back to first and second. That'll bring Mills back into the batter's box. As you see LaPlaca trying to get his strap fixed on his catcher's gear there as he threw the helmet off, the lid off, to go chase down that attempt there at that swing that went foul. So Chad Ryan on a very warm and muggy night. Like I said, he might have been warmed up and ready to go at 5:30. Game didn't start till almost 5 of 10 of 6, and boy, I'll be just outside. He'll have another full. No, he'll be at 2-2. So he walked 1 batter, gave up a leadoff single to Machinsky. Manning's on first with the walk. Mills at the plate. Boy, and he's just missing. And from an 0-2 count to a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I would expect to see a lot of pitchers tonight. Not Pamacala, not Turner, not Sharon from Post 31. Do expect to probably see Sorelli get some throws in. And that's going to be fouled out of play, and this has been a never-ending at bat. We stay 3 balls, 2 strikes. So they get a new ball and get it into play. That one was well out of play over on River Street. And the Mill River High School senior, Chad Ryan. Great pitch. Yep. Got him looking. That's the first out on the strikeout. The first strikeout of the ball game. And I'll bring up John Moore. And I'm hoping they're not going past the 9th hitter because I'm going to have to finagle my book here. You know how important that is, the book is. So another lefty at the plate, 1 down, first and second. South Royalton arriving late, but looking to get the early lead here as we're in the top of the first. Got a lot of soccer action coming up for you on the fall sports scene on Munger Vision. Rutland boys and girls soccer, Mill River boys and girls soccer. And that was about as wild a pitch as you could get. You see the runner at third and the runner down at second. I'll put second and third now with the 1 out. That's pretty big. Takes away the conventional or the traditional double play. It takes away the force out at third base on a ground ball and makes that a fly ball or a slow enough hit ground ball. Could score the run. It's Chad Ryan getting off to a little rocky start here with a base hit, a walk, a strikeout, and a wild pitch. And that's ripped, and I mean ripped foul. He got around on that and really pulled the ball, and John Moore will be up there with 2 strikes on him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The umpire heading over and getting some extra balls for his spare ball bag there. That's how many fouls there's been here in this first top half of the first. Some pretty notable people not in the lineup tonight for Post 31, Matt Sharon being one of them. So getting set for the playoffs, and that's going to score some runs. That's going to be Holtman. He'll pick it up, and Post 51 from South Royalton is going to be on top on that base hit. And now Asa Manning up. going to be interesting when South Royalton comes to the defensive end of the field, because the chatter in the dugout was that all 5 of their pitchers couldn't make the ball game. So Ryan trying to get out of this inning here with just a 1-run scored. He's got a perfect opportunity for a double play, first and third, and 1 out. Dorian at short for this ball game, shortstop. Oh my God, and the runner. And don't forget, there's a runner at third base. That's what they got to remember. Yeah, and they're going to go home, and there's the play home, and he's going to score. Great execution. And the throwdown, and boy, I tell you, this top half of the first is as chaotic and unorganized as the pregame was in the 51 dugout, but they'll get another run. 2 runs in now, and runner at second, still 1 down. That takes away the conventional double play. And there was communications on the field, like everybody talking, but they just waited too long to bring the ball home. So Asa Manning now with a strike called there. 2-0 lead for South Royalton. They're in the, I call them gray uniforms with the blue trim and then the yellow numbers. Post 31 in their red, white, and blue. This could be playable. Everybody's called it. And Dorian will make the catch. The runner can't advance, and that will be the second out. And Rob Dorian has been spent most of the season at center field. Will make the play. It's his position right there on the infield where he's used to playing for his high school season. Now Jordan White up. And Jordan White is going to play second, and he'll take a ball right there. So Chad Ryan has gone into his 6th hitter here of the first inning. Like I said, Ryan's pitched very effective throughout the season. His inaugural year playing post 31 baseball. I thought those Mill River players were nice additions. A graduate from over, Matt Sharon, huge impact player, and Chad Ryan also been a big contributor to post 31. And that's going to be Parker, and Chris Parker will throw off balance to first, and that'll be the inning. It'll be 2-0 South Royalton at the end of a half inning of play. Dorian hitting the first pitch from Machinsky, and it's going to be an error. And Dorian will be on first base. Where are you, Rob? There he is. He must have ran all the way out to Clarendon. He went down that line so fast. So we'll have a runner at first base, and Rob Dorian, and that's Machinsky on the mound. Now Chad Ryan up. Down 2-0 Rutland is, and they're getting their first at-bats here against Machinsky, who is a lefty. And that's going to be a wild pitch. And again, they don't have their usual pitchers and their usual catchers, and this could be one long, disastrous mess here. So the runner will go down to second base on the wild pitch. So we've had an error and a wild pitch to get things going here. I believe that's Asa Manning. Whew, it is the catcher, Asa Manning. Pitch called a ball, and that's going to be popped up and making a prayer, making a catch, and from the seat of his pants getting the ball in, and Dorian should be up almost to fair haven. There he is. So that 3 interesting plays there. What it adds up to is a fly out to right field, and Dorian goes to third. So 1 down, Jeff McLaughlin up. So McLaughlin with a chance to tie the game up. He's the tying run at home base with 1 down. And that's a good pitch at the knee by Machinsky. Those 2 runs scored in the first inning by post 51 of South Royalton. When he got around on that, and that's going to be a foul ball for a strike. Should be an 0-2 count now. And that's what the board says. So an 0-2 count. So bearing down now with the 2 strikes. And that's going to be in play. And that's going to be knocked down at third, bobbled around, and he's going to eat it. Smart play. Yep, smart play. Nothing like getting up, throwing the ball away, and letting that runner come home from third. So we'll have first and third, and 1 down. Now Anthony LaPlaca, the catcher, up, and Anthony's had an outstanding final year of Legion ball. Not only with the bat and the glove, but just with his leadership and his maturity. And he's got a chance to get some runs in here and get this thing at least tied up, or at least chip away at that lead for post 31. They're in the bottom of the first. And that'll tail way outside, and that'll be ball 1. Again, it's the mercy rule, 10-run lead. If you're the visitors that are behind, you have to play 4.5 innings. And if you're the home team that's behind, you play all 5. Great pitch. Swung on and missed. Yep, pulled his head up and off the ball. It'll be a 1-1 count. And that outfield definitely shading to the left field line. Same pitch, same results. 1-2 now, the count. So looking for the second out here with 2 on. He'll have him chase a wild pitch out of the strike zone. That's the second out. First strikeout, and Chris Parker up now for Royalton. Chris, the second baseman tonight. He's done some catching this year. The most recent one that jumps out to me is the top half of the Brattleboro doubleheader here. So good opportunity starting to slide away. 2 runners on. That's going to be ball 1. But there are 2 down now. And Parker has been a clutch hitter all season long for post 31. Looking for one of those clutch hits right here. There's a big gap out in right center field. And it'll trail off to the outside and become a 2-ball, no strike count. And, you know, I got to tell you, it's probably the largest crowd of the season that I have seen here at a Legion game. And it'll nip the inside corner for a 2-1 count. And did he need that right there? He stayed breaking ball, too. He didn't give in coming with the fastball. That still leaves the pitcher pretty flexible here. Machinsky with a 2-1 count. And now at 3 balls, 1 strike, you would think the odds are that he'll throw the fastball here. We'll see what he wants to do with Parker, who could be fussy here with a 3-1 count. The on-deck hitter is Zach Aquistapace, and Parker got the pitch he wanted. It's going to be grounded to third, to second, and they're going to strand 2, and we'll go to the second inning, 2-0, Royalton, South Royalton. On Davis against Chad Ryan as we get going here in the top of the second. Strike 1 on a fastball. Royalton straining a couple potential runs out there in that bottom half of the first. Let's see if Chad Ryan settles down here in the second inning. That breaking ball came back high, and it goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. The breeze is pretty stiff tonight, and it's blowing right into the hitter's face from center field. And again, he'll be outside. Now, in the upcoming tournament run with that #1 seed, I would be shocked if I did not expect to see Rob Turner be the opening pitcher. I said I go Turner, Pamakala, and Sharon. That's a swinging strike. Tied him up on the inside for a 1-2 count, or 2-2 count, excuse me. And pitching is the whole key. You gotta have enough of it. And there's a strikeout. That's going to be his first out of the inning as Davis goes down. That's his second strikeout of the game. So I'm trying to transfer my book here from. Now Jeff Washburn up, and he's a center fielder for South Royalton. Again, LaPlaca and Ryan, that's a strike called. That's the battery. Aquistapace is at first, Parker's at second, Dorian's at short, McLaughlin's at third, Holtman, McGuire, and Trono is the outfield. And Joe Trono seems to have this well in control and will make the catch, check the glove, and have the second out. So far, a 1-2 inning for Chad Ryan, who kind of easing in here into the second inning. Now bring up Cody Welch, the center fielder. Chad Ryan would love to get out here with a 1-2-3 inning, and he couldn't hold up, and that's a strike. And I think it would have been a strike regardless. Like I said, you got to win that first game. It's a double elimination tournament, and that's a swinging strike, strike 2. You want to stay out of that loser's bracket and avoid playing a ton of games in a real short span and burning up all your pitching, and that going to be out of play. Well out of play, and it'll be a strike. We'll stay at 0-2. The on-deck hitter is Trevor Webster, if they do get that to that point. Like I said, post 51 says they're going to bat all 12 players. And that again will be out of play on to River Street. And I tell you, you ever get driving by here during a Legion game in your car, vehicle, truck, whatever, and take a foul ball off your vehicle. Or I saw one year where he hit a back window and smashed the whole thing out. And he'll strike him out. That's his third strikeout. A nice 1-2-3 inning by Ryan. It's 2-0 South Royalton in the bottom of the second. That's big Zach Aquistapace up there to get things started here in the bottom of the second for Rutland Post 31. Coached by Tony Sorelli. Jeff Brewer is the assistant coach, along with George Bennett. Ron Fairbanks is the general manager. And again, I'd like to thank the people in the concession stand that helped the Legion out here. They brought me 2 big cold bottles of water for this hot, humid day, and they've done that all season long, and I can't thank them enough. And the kind of night we're going to need it. It's going to be a real muggy night. Of course, the pace will follow that one off from Machinsky, and it's going to be a 1-2 count. Remember, Rutland did get some people on base in that first inning with the aid of a couple errors. They got them to first and third, but couldn't bring them around, and they're down 2-0 now. See if they build momentum off from Chad Ryan's very good work. That's going to be over the head, and that's going to roll to the wall. We'll pick up Zach now going into second base, and looks like he's going to hold there and be happy with a double to start off this second inning of work offensively for Rutland Post 31. Yep, that was on a rope. That was a line drive and a half. Now Sean McGuire coming up, playing center field tonight. And when I said it's the biggest crowd I've seen of the year, I mean, I'm only talking like maybe 30 people tops. It's something we really got to work on. That's going to be outside for a ball. So Machinsky working with a runner on second, nobody down. He's at the number 7 hitter for Rutland with John Holtman, the on-deck hitter. Showed bunt, brought it back, swung through the pitch, strike. Evens everything up at 1 ball, 1 strike to McGuire. And again, they don't want to really waste that leadoff double. I know it's a non-league game, but you really want to have some momentum carry over. And this sure looks playable. They say it's catchable, and they will have it over at first base. Now, I didn't get the lineup to write down the positions here, so I've got to flip-flop around my book, and that's Sean Davis who made the catch. So there's 1 down. Runner couldn't advance. Now John Holtman up, the right fielder for Rutland. And again, like I said all year, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup for Post 31. And he took that one right down the old proverbial pipe for a strike. There are thunder showers in the forecast, and I don't think we'll have them before the game's over, but that's on the other side of Holtman. Nice catch by the catcher Manning back there. But it's that type of heavy air that you can tell with the haze all around the skyline here that when it comes, it's going to be a dandy. Holtman off the fist and going to drop in. And they're going to send Aquistapace. He's racing home and into second base is Holtman with an RBI. So Holtman will drive in Post 31's first run of the game and get to second base. It's going to be a single and an error on the right fielder. Joe Trono up now, number 25, the left fielder for Rutland. So Joe with a chance to get a tying run in here with Holtman down at second with good speed. And he is going to be safe because the throw is beautiful. But the contact between Holtman and the tag popped the ball free, but you couldn't have thrown the ball any better than what Manning did. Impressed me. And I like the fact that he stole second or third base. You don't see that enough. So Toronto now just one base away here from getting this thing tied up. And that'll float in from Machinsky. And that will make it a 2-ball, no strike count. Again, Jerry Munger, Munger Vision. Brought you all the Legion home games this year, and I'm thinking about heading over to Fairhaven and trying to bring you some of the Southern Vermont tournament. Only the Rutland games, of course. The other teams aren't in the viewing area. And I don't want to bog down the program director at 15 with things not in the viewing area. Now, it's a pretty good looking pitch, but he didn't get the call, and they'll go to a 3-1 count. And Dorian is on deck. He's the top of the order. There is going to be a deep chopper through the hole, and RBI. You see the run coming in, and there's Toronto tying the game up from that number 9 spot, getting an RBI single through the hole at short. And Holtman scores, and that's how important it was for Holtman to steal that base. Now Rob Dorian up. He reached on an error on a shortstop his first time up, as it's 2-2 now. Rutland kind of gaining here. They're catching back up to where they're ready for 5:30 start. Didn't get going to about 5 of 6. They looked that way too in that first inning. Now they look like Rutland Post 31. They had a 1-2-3 defensive half of this inning, and here they are with 2 runs on and 1 down and a runner on first base. And I believe, nope, they said he went. Holy gosh. So on a very generous strike call, that'll be a 1-1 count. That was no doubt about it. That was a beautiful pitch from Machinsky. So Nate Machinsky, looking for that second out, would love to turn a double play here. He's got Trollman at first, with a very short lead being held on at first base. And boy, that's got a chance to be driven. Nope, it's going to go right off the center fielder's knee. And Toronto's only going to get to second because it looked like it was going to be a catchable ball. And that's just a good old-fashioned error. See Dorian, he's reached twice now on errors. No, there was no sun in his eyes or nothing there. That was just a good old-fashioned boot. Chad Ryan up. He flied out to right field. His only time up. He's got first and second, 1 down, 2 runs in. Ryan, been a good hitter all season, right from high school through. And again, he showed like a slap play where he showed bunt, and when the pitcher was into his wind-up, he pulled the bat back and took a full cut at it and fouls it off. Tell you, it's a good night game here to get a wicked sunburn, because it's that hazy sun. And that'll be out play for a fall ball strike 2. So Machinsky, who had a little bit of problem in the first inning. He had, remember, first and third, but that was mostly the lack of his defense behind him, committing a few errors. But now he's out there, 2 runs in, 2 on. And the pitch to Ryan, that's going to be 1. Safe. Yeah, nice job getting back. No, that's a good call. Toronto with that head first Pete Rose style slide back there ahead of the, just ahead of the tag. Tell you what, Chad Ryan couldn't hit that too much harder than what he did right there. And Jeff McLaughlin up, he reached on an error his first time up. So Rutland here, if they don't punch in another run, they would have stranded 4 runners in the first 2 innings. They've actually had 6 base runners. 2 have scored in the first 2 innings. That pitch will be a ball from Machinsky. So from the stretch, the long look into Manning, Asa Manning behind the plate, doing the catching tonight for post 51. That's going to be down to third, and the race to the bag, and we're going to have a 2-2 game going into the top of the 3rd inning. Chad Ryan with a beautiful cut action pitch there to Trevor Webster up for the first time. Like I said, post 51 from South Royalton is going to hit all 12 players, just like Little League. Boy, and he might have got a little luck on a call there, makes it 0-2. If they're going to give him that pitch all night, he's going to have a pretty sweet evening. Chad Ryan with a rocky first, a solid second, and got things humming here now here in the 3rd as he has another strikeout That's 2 in a row and 4 for the game, and we're going to look at Dustin Parker. So Parker up there with nobody on base, and boy, I'll tell you, that off-speed stuff is just right from that bottom of the first on. That's been looking pretty good. Or to the last hitter in the top of the first, I'm sorry, to now. It's been his most effective pitch, and usually the breaking ball isn't. That you see the fastball miss there. But Chad Ryan had a lot of success in this ball game, even though we're only the third inning, with the breaking ball. So he's been sticking with it. And that's going to be hit deep to McGuire, and Sean McGuire. A little icing on the cake there. You didn't really have to slide, but it looks nice on tape, and that's a good job by McGuire. And that will be the second out with style. Devin Silliup is the 12th batter in the roster, in the batting order, and then we'll be around to the top of the order. And there's a strike. Again, that Channel 15 website, very important to go to it. It's PEGTV.com. It has all kinds of information besides the schedule on it. It's going to be high for a ball. But you know, if you need schedule information, for not only for Channel 15, but for Channel 20 and Channel 21, Sam's Good News has all 3 channel listings in it. It's the most efficient and easy way to pick up PEGTV schedules. There's a strike, outside corner, nailed it. So 1-2 to count, 2 down, 4 strikeouts in the game. Looking for a number 5 here to Devin Silly. Got it. Chad Ryan looking strong now. Took him a minute, but he's got his act together. So Nate Machinsky will be facing Anthony LaPlaca here, who struck out in his only at bat. So with a 2-2 game in the bottom of the third, LaPlaca a little more patient this at bat. We'll let that one go right down the pipe and be down in the count 0-1. The outfield again shading toward that left center field gap area that LaPlaca has owned all season. And the lefty's pitch will tail away and low and be a 1-1 count. That's Asa Manning behind the plate. Nate Machinsky on the mound. And the pitch going to be a little bit high above the belt. Higher on the letters. It'll be a 2-ball, 1-strike count. On a muggy evening, we're wrapping up the regular season of the non-league game between South Royalton and Rutland, and that's going to be a base hit. You see him picking it up. Boy, Anthony LaPlaca all over that pitch. See him going back to first base now, so we'll have a runner at first and nobody down. Now Chris Parker hit the ball the first time up and ended up being, they forced the runner out ahead of him at second base, so he hit into a force out, and Parker and LaPlaca, both MSJ graduates. Parker heading off to Norwich this year, first year of life after high school. He's going to have a base hit, so back-to-back base hits. One by that gentleman right there, Anthony LaPlaca, and the other by that gentleman right there, Chris Parker. So Rutland stinging the ball here. Zach Aquistapace up. He had a double and scored a run back in the second inning. So Aquistapace looking to do some damage here with that big aluminum bat in his hand, and it's going to be fouled out of play. Yeah, I'm not going to follow it because they're not going to get to it. So it's going to be a long foul ball strike. Aquistapace getting a start tonight at first base, where he split duty with Garrett Brewer. And both players have done a nice job with that glove where they're at first base defensively. Overall, the entire season, Rutland's defense has just been phenomenally good. They've had a very slight lapse here and there, but overall, pretty darn good defense. And that'll be a little bit too far outside. It started off looking good, and then it kind of fell off the table, and it'll be a 1-1 count. I think Royalton has as many, if not more, fans here than Post 31. Whoa, boy. Well, I guess if anything, that one had to be high. So Aquistapace took it all the way, makes it 2 balls, 1 strike. I think he's got enough juice on that to get it up and over. Yeah, it's going to be the third base hit. And that's going to send the runner in. I missed that. The runner comes all the way around the placard with a burst of speed. And a very shallow hit ball will break the tie, make it 3-2. Rutland on 3 consecutive singles. Starting with the placard, Parker, Quistapase, now McGuire, who popped up to first base. So McGuire got the table set here to keep this offensive rally going here. It's 3-2 Rutland with nobody down in the bottom of the third. And you see Asa Manning try to sneak that pitch back in and frame it for a strike. Couldn't convince the umpire of that, and it'll be ball 1. So Machinsky, who hasn't done a bad job, and it's going to be playable, possibly. Nope, it's going to drop right in front of him. You see the... Whoops, I didn't follow the right player. Quistapase is out at second. And I got to tell you, I was watching, I thought the front runner I thought was going to be the important runner. And McGuire will have a bloop single, but Quistapase had to hold up and make sure that it wasn't caught, so he would get doubled up. And he had just a late start breaking a second, it's thrown out, and Holtman up. So first and third, and 1 down. 1 run in, and Holtman had a single that turned into a double with an error on the right fielder, and then he eventually came around to score the second run of the game. Yeah, they're going to hold up. What happened right there? You see the runner going down. McGuire with an explosive slide into second. I had Holtman show bunt. Everybody got moving around. The runner faked breaking down the line at third, and then McGuire with the easy steal at second. Since Machinsky's not usually your pitcher, he really hasn't had a lot of throws to first or second base this evening. I don't actually remember making a throw to keep the runner in check. So Holtman looking to drive in a couple of his buddies out there on second and third, and that's a great pitch. Well, I tell you what, if he can just emulate that now a couple times, that's 3-1 count. From the set, it'll be ball 4, and it'll become a walk, and that will mean that Holtman would have been on base both times, once with the single, once with the walk. The bases are loaded for Joe Trono with an RBI single his last time up. And the head coach coming out to talk to his pitcher. We'll pick it up on the flip side of this. So after a rather lengthy meeting involving Mr. Trono at the plate, post 51 from South Royalton set, and Toronto's going to rip that for his second base hit. He's going to have at least 1. Here comes 2 RBIs, and tell you what, Toronto taking full advantage. See him sneaking up to second base. Too good running. Of getting playing time tonight with 3 RBIs on the evening. As he drove in Parker and McGuire. Holtman stops over at second. Toronto doing a nice job. Like I said, 3 RBIs tonight. And we're only in the third inning, top of the order. Rob Dorian up. So second and third for Dorian was reached twice, both times on errors. Remember the last time it was the fly ball that went off from the knee of the center fielder who just misplayed it. 5-2 Rutland after trailing 2-0. And a good eye by Dorian right there. We have a 1-1 count on. Well, I feel he's been a huge impact player this year for Post 31 in his first season of Legion Ball. Oh, what a great piece of hitting. Great piece of hitting. There's going to be another run. There's Holtman with the 6th. And Toronto with the 7th. And there's going to be Rob Dorian right there. And I'll tell you what, he went down with like a pitching wedge or a 9-iron and literally hit that ball off the shoe tops. And that was a beautiful base hit. Oh, he's got such a sweet, sweet swing. So he's been on base 3 times today. And now he's got some RBIs to add to it. Chad Ryan up. He's lined out to second. And to start the game off, he flied out to right. Then he lined out to second. And so it goes to 7-2. And oh, we're making a pitching change. Well, in my disaster of a book, I have that as Jordan White out there, number 13, who's pitching now for South Royalton. Jordan White, yeah, it's been confirmed. Chad Ryan at the plate, Jordan White on the mound. 7-2 Rutland. And a runner down at second base is Rob Dorian. And that's going to be a strike. Jordan White, a rather tall, lanky guy. Got the long arms, long legs. There have been 3 errors made in the ball game by post 51, but there's been some good hitting also by Rutland post 31. That's going to be fouled off, and we'll have an 0-2 count now to Chad Ryan. So we're in the bottom of the third. Rutland trailed 2-0 at the end of 1, tied it up at 2-all in the second, and have extended that with 5 runs here in the third to 7-2. And again, there is the 10-run mercy rule, but we haven't gone far enough into the game, and we haven't hit 10 runs yet either. That's going to be a tough play. That's going to drop in. Yeah, see it drop in. And where's Dorian? There's Rob. They're going to send him home. You see the third base coach never had him break stride. There's the 8th run, and RBI over there for Chad Ryan. But you could just tell the way that was hitting. They're playing very deep in the outfield, that they really weren't going to have a chance. Now Jeff McLaughlin up. He's reached on an error, then grounded out to third base. Still only the 1 out at 8-2 here in the third, and Jordan White on the mound in relief of Machinsky. And that will be called a ball. Came in high. So from the stretch, and that's where he's had to pitch, coming on in relief with people on base. And that's got a chance to be caught, and settling in, making, nope, he will have another error. And you see Ryan will just beat the throw. Remember, that's how Quistapace got out at second. Same play. They had to wait, made sure it was caught. Now, I'm not an official book, but I'm giving him an error. Now, on the plaque up, he has singled and scored in this inning. Okay, he struck out in the first. So Rutland hitting around now. This will be the 10th batter to come to the plate for Rutland here in the third. And it's a little bit high from Jordan White. And that's where he's been missing. It's just been a little bit high. You see Ryan down at second. Chad Ryan getting a pretty healthy lead. And it's a great stop by Asa Manning there. The catcher on a backhand stop knocked the ball down, keeps the runners at first and second. Nobody could advance on that almost wild pitch. And that sunshine kind of gone away. It's going to be a nice, that's a swing and be a strike. Remember in the beginning of the game it was a blinding left field and third base side for the defensive people, but now that sun's kind of muted behind the clouds, makes it a lot better for the fielders here. Rutland exploding for 6 runs so far in the third, and not quite done yet. And I don't believe, yeah, it's going to be out of play. So Blanca with a foul ball strike will make it a 2-2 count now. And I should mention to you that the on-deck hitter is Chris Parker. He's also singled and scored here in this third. Now, that's barring a double play here, that Parker would make it up. Jordan White. Oh, that's going to be a base hit. That's going to be picked up, and the throw coming in, and play at the plate. They're going to cut it off. Jordan White will hold on to the ball, and another big hit by LaPlaca. She'll drive in Chad Ryan. Jeff McLaughlin will go to second. LaPlaca is at first. He has 2 hits this inning alone. He has scored a run, and he just drove in a run. Now Chris Parker, who's also had a single this inning and scored a run up there. So it goes 9-2 Rutland, and that's going to be a wild pitch. And you can see the runners move up on the plate, a second and a third. So they relieve Machinsky with Jordan White. And you know, I told you those showers weren't going to happen until after the ball game. That's up in the air right now, too. I could be completely wrong about that. 9-2 Rutland, bottom of the third. Going into the Southern Vermont tournament with that #1 seed, and I'm not really sure how that's going to work out for them. It hasn't in past years for any of the #1 seeds. Again, it's stating the obvious, but that first game, getting a win without expending too many arms, if you could get a 7-game win out of your starting pitcher, then you're in pretty sweet shape for the next round. Because Rutland, which plays at 1 o'clock on Friday, which I can't understand the 1 o'clock start time. But if they win that game, that's all they have to play. Then they wait to play the next day, which would be Saturday at 10. They win that, they don't have to play again until Sunday unless everybody's eliminated. It is double elimination, and that's going to be picked up. They got to play it first. There's the pitcher, catch a tag in a bag. Good hustle, get up and around. Run did come in. LaPlaca did go to third, but they really needed the out more than anything, and they got it. So McLaughlin scores. LaPlaca goes to second. Parker grounds out 3-1. And Aquistapace, who's doubled and singled and scored a run. So with 2 down, a 10-2 score. 8 runs so far in the third. Runner at third base is LaPlaca, and that pitch in the dirt is a ball. Asa Manning with a nice scoop to catcher for South Royalton, post 51. Although what you think now is to get this far into the ball game and have it rain or lightning and call the game. You should at least want to get to the 5th, make it an official game. And that came in high as the big righty Jordan White kind of fell off to my left side from behind of the mound. Didn't really have balance on that. And like I said, the post 51 bench saying their normal 5 pitchers aren't even here tonight. And that's going to be a base hit through the hole. That will score LaPlaca. And I'll tell you what, that's a 3-for-3 night for Aquistapace so far. And we're still in the third. Now Sean McGuire up as they've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 batters into this inning. And McGuire has singled and driven in runs and scored in this third inning as he's up for a second time here in the third. Oh, he set on that beautifully, and there's the catch. The inning over, but it's going to be 11-2 Rutland at the end of 3 full innings of play. Oh, we got some changes for you. Zach Aquistapace is going to take to the mound and be the new pitcher here in the 4th inning for Rutland. The pitcher who he's replacing, Chad Ryan's gone to center field defensively. Garrett Brewer has gone in to take over first base defensively, and Sean McGuire's moved from center to left. So the leadoff hitter in the 4th is Nate Machinsky. He singled and scored back in the 1st inning, and that pitch will be a little bit outside for a ball. Rutland fell behind 2-0 at the end of 1 inning of play, and now they've scored 11 runs combined in the 2nd and 3rd to take that 11-2 lead. And had good pop on it, but it'll be high for 2-0 count. Aquistapace has been a mixed bag here. He's had some fantastic outings pitching, and he's had some that he'd like to forget about. That's a great pitch. Plays an outstanding first base. As you can see with the bat tonight, he's lethal hitting the ball. So he's looking to finish up the regular season here on the mound, and we'll just miss right there. There's a plate, but a little bit low, and it'll be a 3-1 count to Machinsky. With Tyrell Manning on deck. There's a couple Mannings on the post 51 team. They're cousins, I was told by them. Great pitch. That'll be a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The outfield pretty shallow right now, and they're in straight on with the hitter. Besides Brewer at first, we still have Parker at second, Dorian at third, and that's going to be a foul ball. And that was a good pitch and a good swing with 2 strikes. So everybody doing what they should do right there. McLaughlin is at third, and of course your catcher is Anthony LaPlaca back there. Oh, got him. Just locked him up and froze him down. So Aquistapace will start his tour of duty off this evening with a strikeout, and he'll have Tyrell Manning up. Now, he walked and scored back in the 1st inning, which was the only rough inning that Chad Ryan experienced. Other than that, Chad Ryan had 5 strikeouts in 3 innings of work, and boy, from the Fifth batter of the first inning on, he was just unbelievable. He retired the last 8 batters that he faced. So the lefty will step in there against Quist Pace with 1 out, nobody on. No, I'm a hometown fan, but you know, Rutland, Brattleboro, Bennington, and Bellows Falls, and I like Rutland's chances. It's wide open, I know, but like I said, with Rob Turner, Justin Pamakala, Matt Sharon, Chad Ryan, and you've got 4 excellent pitchers that can start ball games for you, and it's all about pitching and defense. If you can pop in a lot of runs, and that's just icing on the cake for you in the postseason. But the ideal scenario would be get a complete game win with Turner in the first game, and then you're pretty much in good shape for the next day of the tournament. That good pitch right there. Quist Pace, when he gets into trouble, a lot of it's just being off balance coming off the mound. You'll actually see him stagger and fall toward the first base bag. But when he lines himself up and lands with his foot and everybody coming right toward home base like that, he's very, very good. A lot of it's just balance. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and I'm not sure if I heard thunder in the distance. The umpires didn't react or call for time. And you'll have 2 hitters faced, 2 strikeouts. Not bad. Now Ted Mills up. He was the first strikeout of the game for post 31 pitching. That was back in the first inning. Again, I hope you liked or appreciated or did watch some of the American Legion post 31 baseball action on Munger Vision, Channel 15 Sports. But it was hot and stuff like that up in the booth. But, you know, overall, if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. I had a lot of fun, saw some great baseball games. And hopefully it made a little difference in people like grandparents and aunts and uncles who couldn't make the games, but still got to see their relatives play or their grandsons play. And help the post 31 American Legion. I mean, that's about as red, white, and blue apple pie and motherhood and America and all that as you can be. Help support them. Not that I amount to a hill of beans, but I hope I made a tiny bit of a difference bringing you all the home games. And I'll be in the dirt for a 1-2 count as the ball came up shy and skipped past the Plaka. He'll retrieve the ball. A very foreboding sky now. All those clouds I thought weren't going to become a threat during the game are all kind of knocking on the door right now, waiting to break open with probably going to be a doozy of a thunder shower. 2-2 the count, and we'll see if Quist Pace starts nibbling there and throws that good old fastball. 2-2 count. He's got 2 strikeouts in the 2 batters he's faced. Got him. Faced 3 hitters, and Zach Quist Pace. That's a good confidence builder right there. It's 3 strikeouts. New pitcher for South Royalton post 51 will be John Moore. He'll be the 3rd pitcher of the evening. As we're in the bottom of the 4th, and Rutland's going to send John Holtman, Joe Trono, and Rob Dorian, the 3 due up here for Coach Tony Sorelli. In the bottom of the 4th. And Holtman, he's been busy like all those post 31 players. He's got a double, an RBI, he scored a run, Watkins scored a run. So he's been moving out there. And of course, he's played good defense as always. And that's definitely thunder now. I wasn't sure, but that's definitely thunder. But I don't see any lightning, because the minute you see lightning, the umpire will halt the game, and it'll be a 30-minute wait between strikes of lightning. That's why I love to see Royalton. They're up by 9 and pitch a strike, get a run here to make it a 10-run lead, then come up in the top of the 5th defensively, shut them down. We'll call it an early night and get set for the playoffs. Good pop on the ball right there, as Holtman couldn't catch up to it. It'll be a 1-2 count on the fastball. Swing by Holtman. Jeff Brewer there coaching at 3rd base. George Bennett coaching at 1st. Trying to come back with a little change of pace after that. Fastball and missed. And then the catcher threw the ball away, and that's what they're retrieving right now. And like I said, Trono due up on deck, but I'm not sure. I can't see that far away. And that's going to be the 3rd. Big hop to him, and the throw to first is going to be an error. And It's going to be out of play. It's a dead ball, and they'll allow Holtman to go down to second base. And boy, I've lost track. I'm going to have to count how many errors that is. That's a pretty routine ground ball with a very generous hop. So that is going to be just 4. Seemed like more. Just 4 errors. Now, Brewer will be up for the first time. He's going to hit for Toronto, and Toronto had a single and a double and a bunch of RBI. Had them for 3 RBIs, so Brewer at the plate. We had Holtman down at second, and foul. Brewer's had a mixed bag here at the plate this year. He's had some games where he's really seen the ball well and hit it and powered it. He had, I can't think of the name of the team. I want to say Woodstock. He had 2 doubles and a single in that game, and then he's had some games where he went back to the drawing board. And he'll be out of play on a foul ball strike. So Holtman's on second base because of an error. 0-2 the count. Nobody down. The number 9 hitter in the order, not Jeff Brewer, that's his dad, Garrett Brewer up. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Royalton overcame a 2-0 deficit with 11 unanswered runs to have an 11-2 lead. And a good eye by Brewer. His weakness has been, or his problem has been, breaking balls, and he laid off from that particular breaking pitch right there, which actually looked like a slider. So John Moore will come back with the same pitch, missing the same spot, get the same results, ball 2. Again, give that website a visit at PEGTV.com. The program director is Tom Leipold. The executive director is Mike Valentine, and that's going to be off the wall. You can see it right there, and that's going to send Brewer at least to second. Yeah, and he just missed a home run. Big Garrett Brewer is going to be one happy guy tonight. He'll drive in Holtman with no problem for a 10-run lead. Brewer will have a double in his first at bat. And I'll bring up the top of the order. When he hit that, I pulled it off from the outfielder because I thought it was going to clear the wall, but it hit, you could hear the thump and it hit off about the midway point of the wall. And Brewer, a very, very big guy. He doesn't miss too many meals. And that curveball will turn Dorian away for ball 1. Dorian's reached on an error twice tonight and doubled and has 2 RBIs. And he scored a run, so typical Rob Dorian night, just getting it done. There's a strike, 1-1 to count. Not an awful good ball player, like really solidified that old, I don't know what you call it, cliche or whatever, where you got to be strong up the middle in the field defensively, and he plays center field most of the time. And with Matt Sharon at short, Chris Parker at second, and Anthony LaPlaca behind the plate, and plugging most of those pitchers, and you're pretty solid up the middle of that core right there. That's going to be towards second. Oh, what a hop. What a hop it took. And then Brewer will race home with another run. That's an 11-run lead now for post 31. That is called a home field hop. That's going to be the 4th RBI of the night. I'm sorry, 3rd RBI of the night for Dorian. Now Chad Ryan up. He's flied out to right, lined out to second, singled and scored. As it's 13-2, Royalton in the 4th. And that's going to be another base hit. No, I'm sorry, I overplayed the ball. It'll be a base hit now, be an infield base hit. I thought it went through the hole, but it was a great diving stop by the shortstop for South Royalton. And Chad Ryan just way too fast. Mike Sorelli hitting for Jeff McLaughlin. That, I think if they can get this thing through the Thunder to the top of the 5th, that Mike Sorelli will go in defensively and play the 3rd base position. Now Sorelli, like I said before, I've named all those pitchers, right? And then you saw how effective Pace was tonight. There's a swinging strike, and that'll get by, but nobody moving up. But Sorelli's pitched extremely well this year. I believe his stats are 4-0 with 2 saves. But I don't know about the stats, but just telling you when I watch him pitch, does a real good job. So there's another arm, and if Pace has a good night, there's another arm. So I mean, that's looking good. And again, I'm watching that sky like the umpires are. I hear all the rumbling, but I don't see any lightning yet. 13-2 Royalton, 13 unanswered runs, overcame a 2-0 deficit. Oh, and that one's in the dirt. Drop strike 3. See the runner move down Dorian to second. And yeah, Sorelli's out because there's a runner at first. You can't move up on a drop strike 3. Now it'll be an out. So second and third, one down, and LaPlaca due up and is up. You see the catcher having a little chat with John Moore, and I don't know if it's just a mix-ups on the signs or what, but LaPlaca having a good at-bat the last time. He had a third inning that included 2 singles, scoring a run, and driving in a run. So he had 2 singles and accounted for 2 runs. Yeah, Thunder getting louder and closer. I don't know what the umpires are trying to do. They're trying to get this to an official game right now. Well, so they wouldn't let anybody get hurt. But there has not been any lightning yet. 0-1 the count in what's been a long 4th inning for John Moore, the new pitcher. And boy, pulled the string on that one, and LaPlaca got it right off the end of the bat, and they're making an 0-2 count. LaPlaca did strike out his first at bat this evening, then he kind of got everything corrected and started stroking the ball the way he has all season. Brewer with the big shot tonight, that double off the wall in left center field that almost left the park. Tell you right there, LaPlaca was hitting it for the fences. He wound up, took that front foot, and was running toward the ball like Happy Gilmore. So everybody all set now after that foul. And that's going to be about as wild a pitch as you can get. It hit the backstop and came right back to the catcher, Ace Manning, and there was no way anybody could move up on that. That's going to be a 1-2 count. That's the kind where the umpire is kind of looking at the catcher after, because that could have cleaned the umpire's clock out. A pitch that high and wild, and LaPlaca will lunge for and not get that pitch. It's 2 down now on back-to-back strikeouts, and it should be Chris Parker. Looks like him. Yep. It'll be interesting to see who will come out and pitch the top of the 5th for Rutland if we get that far, unless again, we see lightning. And Parker getting a close shave there. Will back up and out of the way and readjust his helmet, and that'll be ball 1. Not that he wants to, but first base is open. It's not like there's immense pressure to, the bases loaded and walk somebody in. Not the case. First base is open. And that, they're going to hold up the runners. Yeah, it's 13-2, Rutland with the lead over post 51 from South Royalton, Vermont. On an evening that started off with a brilliant sun, then got muggy and hazy, and then muted, and now it's right on the verge of being a thunderbanger. That's going to be foul. No, I'm not even going to follow it. It's going to be over the fence toward Otter Creek, and it'll be a foul ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. If you need the channel 15, channel 20, channel 21, all the PEGTV channels listings, they're in Sam's Good News. Sam Garuso will be emceeing the really big show 11, the first Saturday of November. Get your tickets early, get down, support the United Way of Rutland County. If for some reason you can't make it or it's sold out, you can watch it on channel 15, because unless I get fired, and you never know, I'm always on the bubble. I plan on being there taping it, but Parker with a very dramatic dive out of the way of that pitch makes it 3 balls, 1 strike. John Moore looking for that final out. We'll have a 3-2 count. He has 2 strikeouts back to back. As he again will wind him up. 3-2 with the count. Second and third situation. Too far inside. He'll load him now. Now he's got a little pressure because there's nowhere to put the next batter, which should be a Pace. I'm just waiting to see. Nope. Oh, Matt's up. They're going to bring up Matt Sharon to hit for a Pace. So Matt Sharon's first opportunity to swing the bat tonight. Usually bats in the second spot in the roster behind Dorian. Plays a brilliant shortstop. Pitched a no-hitter this year. Just missed a perfect game on 1 pitch. It was a drop 3rd strike. Allowed the runner to get down to first. That's going to be to second base. He'll go to the force out, and we're going to go to the top of the fifth with Rutland now, looking for the mercy rules. We're up 13-2. So Matt Sharon is going to see some action on the mound tonight. Like I said, last time we saw Matt, he pitched a 10 strikeout, no hit masterpiece. And Mike Sorelli is playing third defensively. And I got to pick up the left fielder. There he is, Mark Noble. So Noble's in left, and that will make Chad Ryan still the center fielder. And John Holtman's in right field. So let me get you here. Where are you? There's Mark. And my center fielder, there's Chad Ryan. There's John Holtman. First base is Garrett Brewer. There's Chris Parker at second. Where's Dorian? There's Robbie. He's at short. There's Mike Sorelli over at third. And looks like Anthony's still catching the placca. And Matt Sharon's on the mound. 8 strikeouts for post 31 pitching tonight. Quista Pace had 3 in a row. He struck out the side in the fourth. That was his only inning of work. 3 innings of work by Chad Ryan. He struck out 5. And now Matt Sharon's going to pick up with John Moore at the plate. Matt Sharon's got real good stuff when he throws it. He's got a 13-2 lead, an 11-run lead, and that qualifies us for a mercy rule. And that's going to be a little nubber. Oh, nice job of getting out of the way of the shortstop. Parker got down so Dorian can make the catch. 1 down. That'll bring up Asa Manning. Now, he's only hit once, even though we're in the 5th, because the coach for post 51 from South Royalton elected to bat all 12 batters. He flied out to the shortstop. It's only time up. That's going to be a ball for Matt Sharon. Matt Sharon not only does a good job on the mound, like we talked about, but his play at shortstop has just really been quite a boost. Ooh, that's going to be a hickey and a half. Oh, that hurt. When you see a hitter go down and actually holler out, ouch, and roll around, and that's going to be a hit batter, and that will end the streak of 11, 9, 12. Let me count here. I sound like a moron here. Got 1, 2, 8, 11, 12 in a row were retired by post 31 pitching before that hit batter. Jordan White's grounded out to Chris Parker at second base. So Matt Sharon making a mark in the game right there. And that's going to be a 1-out play. They got the play at first. Parker got him. They're going to throw back and doubled him up. Oh, just beat the throw. Just beat the throw back. Yes, I am looking for lightning. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking for it, but they need just one more out to get through it. So. Now Sean Davis up as there's 2 down and that runner at second base. And Matt Sharon will be behind with that pitch. And boy, they were real close to getting that double play to end the ball game. I'm doing the game, right? And I know it's hard. Listen, I got the headset on and the camera set up and I'm talking and people come up and just start a conversation with me. Like they don't even see that I'm talking on air. Oh, it always kills me. In a good way. So Sharon with a 2-0 count will get the outside corner for a strike. 13-2. Rutland was down 2-0 at the end of 1, full inning of play, and then boy, they just got it cooking. Everybody got the bat on the ball tonight. And the pitching was excellent, right from the starter Chad Ryan to a Quista Pace, and Matt Sharon looking just to clean things up. Here goes the 3 balls, 1 strike. They said they've combined as a team for 8 strikeouts. They had a string of 12 in a row retired as a team pitching. And nice job by Rob Dorian right there, showing some athleticism there with the grab. Again, it's been rumbling thunder around us, but great pitch. There's that curveball that Matt Sharon had before he came to post 31, but he's been really fine-tuning it with pitching coach Jeff Brewer. Full count, 3-2. He threw him a 3-1 curveball. Trying to get the game right here. We'll miss. That'll put runners at first and second. Now bring up Jeff Washburn. He's flied out to left field. I got Washburn. I'm waiting to hear the announcer if I've got. Yeah, it's Jeff Washburn up. Okay, so it's only his second time up in the ball game. We're in the fifth. Post 31. Going to be low for a ball from Matt Sharon. Again, I know the umps are very concerned about safety, but they're just trying to eke out the last out here and get the game in. Call official. Oh, nice pitch. He's just settled that in there. It's like he's throwing a paper airplane right there. So Matt Sharon with a 1-1 count. He's the third post 31 pitcher to come on out and do some work tonight. Strike two. You won't see Turner or Pamakala till the Southern Vermont playoffs. Getting there over in Fairhaven this year. I don't know why post 31 can't host them. Beautiful facility here. So a 1-2 count and just missed, if anything, high. Had Washburn froze, had the count where he wanted to throw that pitch in. So 2-2 the count, and here comes Matt Sharon. Got him! That's the ball game. Matt Sharon will have the 9th strikeout of the game for post 31 pitching. Chad Ryan will get the win. Quista Pace looked very good tonight. Sharon, as always, just a diamond out there. But a 13-2 win for Royalton Post 31. They'll head into the Southern Vermont playoffs with a good win. Everybody got the bat on the ball. They played air-free baseball. And get out there, support your Legion teams. All your fall sports coming up. Get out there, support a school, any field hockey, soccer, whatever it is. Get out there and watch it. And support public access television, of course. And I always support the old chubby guy, me, Munger Vision.